A reenaction. So, do another hour of reading. So this goes. I'm be real. I'm check exactly where I left off last time. Christianity. Ah, it cannot be this bad quality. There's no way. Alright. You have to ain't chat. Oh, 50 minutes. Wow, it's almost been an hour. God, Christianity. Ah, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Guys, it's gonna be it though. Belief in consciousness as the divinely inspired in the light of this. Oh my god, I'm be real. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, but this is like the good part though. Like it's about God. Ah, yep. I remember now. I remember. Hmm. Oh, remember now. I remember. The statement of a man's kinship with a beneficent, even loving God, and of a belief and conscious as the divinely in. Wait, is this? Okay. In the light of the Spirit, his attitudes are religious beyond anything the Roman state religion. His day, little more than a withered survival of formal worship paid to a host of ancient gods and goddesses. Christian writers have not been slow to recognize the remarkably close parallels between isolated sentences and Seneca's writing and verses of the Bible. Christian writers have not been slow to recognize the remarkably close parallels between isolated sentences and which is showing the similarities. Okay? On the other hand, the word God of gods were used by philosophers as more as a time-honored and convenient expression than as a standing for any indispensable or even surely identifiable component of the Stoic system. And the tendency of Stoicism was always to exalt man's importance in the universe rather than to abase him before a higher authority. The hope of immortality was occasionally held out, but Seneca does not play on it. To him, as the most Stoic virtue was be looked on as its own reward and vice as its own punishment. The religious hunger of the masses of his day were to be met not by philosophy, by the cause of Isis. You know, stuck my there's like a god named Isis, huh? Yeah. Isis, yeah. 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 Okay. Woo! Cause of Christ. Okay. For the ancient Rome, then apart from Irvine philosophy and Latin literature, he spiritualized and humanized Stoicism. What of Seneca? What of Seneca and modern philosophy? The latter, at least in the universities of the English-speaking world, as for some time they set on course, which he would certainly have condemned. He would not have understood the intention that pays to ordinary language in some of his letters. For example, letter 10, oh no, L is 5, 3. L must mean like 100. It makes it clear that I would have come in for a share of his patience with philosophers, not excluding Stoics. When it has degraded philosophy by wasting time on verbal puzzles or logical hair splitting, or more than this, but denounce the opinions of which most philosophers tacitly or otherwise. Synonym of otherwise, I'm guessing.
Tacitly.
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 Around the last century, half century, that is no part of business. A philosopher who turned people into better persons. As a tantamount to dissertation or majesty. So it's been 6 minutes. Rand's faith in philosophy as a mistress was grounded on belief that her end was the practical one of curing souls, of bringing peace in order to the feverish minds of men pursuing the wrong aims in life. What we say should be of use, not just entertaining. That's right. Yeah. So Seneca or was this? Like, this wasn't Seneca. It was. Uh, it does not equal. Okay. Page 12 was this used beforehand? No, because it says Seneca and someone else like really like made it mainstream. Really. Oh, oh, I gotta take a dump. Oh, I gotta take a dump. Okay. Okay. Well, you should be of use and not just entertainment. Even speculation of the nature of meaning of the universe was of secondary importance, something which the philosopher might or might not, as he choose, take up in leisure moments. Leisure. Leisure.
Leisure.
Leisure.
Leisure.
I should use it. Just take up. Philosopher should as a Quaker. As a Quaker, my place. A Quaker is word.
Quaker. Quaker. Quaker.
Quakers. Philosopher should speak to our condition, reading observations that few people in the position of being overloaded with prosperity or adversity would be too wise to lose not to gain from reading Seneca might have gratified him not merely as an indication that his writings were proven of use, related generous, but showing that philosophy could still be read as someone to be turned to for advice or consolation. Seneca, as letter X, C, and the other letters plainly show the philosopher and the wise man was the same person. Oh, it's gotta take it down. Yes, what I'm guessing this means that, because the way I believe it, right? I think we're just too distracted. We're too surrounded by entertainment and stuff like that. So what I think this quote means is that we are too prosperous or something like that. You know, too. Ooh. Okay. What you mean? Yeah. So exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Whether or not his letters still be turned to for their pointers to their contented life, they cannot be read without noticing how far in advance of the time are many of his ideas. And the shows in the arena, for example, or his treatment of slaves, an implicit belief in the equality and brotherhood of man despite all barriers of race or class or rank. Race or class or rank was one, resurrected from the days of the early Stoics, which led directly to great improvements in the legal position of slaves. Besides, explaining that then remarkable attitude towards slaves expressed letter blah blah blah. I believe was also the germ of the notion of natural law. The law was thought to transcend national boundaries and form a basis for the validity, 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 validity,
Validity.
validity,
Validity.
validity,
Validity.
validity,
Validity.
validity,
Validity.
validity, validity,
Validity.
validity, 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 validity. Okay, validity. Basis for the validity of international law. These elements of Stoicism made their not so small and direct contribution to the French American revolutions. Let me just see. I'm on page 12 right now. Okay. Okay. Yo, chat, I'm gonna take a dump. See what's the time? What's the time? Uh, uh, chat, I'll be right back. Hey, hey, chat. Uh, yeah, yeah. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. League. Hey, y'all boys.